Hi, this is the Teaserking. Good evening to everybody. Here with my free picks for week ending December the 14th, week 14 in the pros. We're going to go with a few selections tonight. First one I want to talk to is we're going to play Miami against the Jets. Jets are 5.5, 6-point favorites. Game's in New York. They just came off with a big emotional game with New England. I like Miami in the 11.5 in this game. 11.5, 12 points. There's several factors. One, let's look at the trends. Team versus team. This trend, if we go to Miami against the Jets since 2000. When the game is played in New York, the Dogs 8-2, Miami's 8-2. The Jets are 9-2 as the favorite here, but Miami is 10-1 as the dog. The dog in the series is 18-3, as Miami was favored in the first game, and we had a lock on the Jets. This is a very dog-oriented series, two good defenses, and this is generally what happens in the game. I'm not really worried about the cold weather. Chad Henne's from Michigan. Some Ohio State blood on that team, so I'm not too worried that it's going to be cold in New York. If we go back since 2005, Miami and the dog are both 5-0 in New York, and New York's only 3-2 at home. And conversely, Miami's 7-0 as the dog in the series, and the dog's 11-0 since 2005 in this series with the game already played earlier in Miami. This is clearly a dog trend. We can take it one step further. We look at the more of the macro trend. And we look at the Jets. And we look at 2010. The Jets are 4-1 as a home favorite. 10-3 overall. They're playing very well and covering a lot. But they're also 4-1 against as the home favorite. And what this tells you is they play close games at home. They play enough to win. They play the run, the defense. They're not a blowout type of team. Let's look at Miami. 4-1 as a road dog. Overall, they're only 7-5 because they're terrible at home, especially as a favorite, as we talked about last week. Cleveland winning the game straight up as Miami a home favorite. A terrible role for them. However, Miami as a road dog is a wonderful role for them. So they're 4-1 if you take them as a dog just in 2010. So let's go back to 2009. Miami's 10-2 as a road dog, 6-6 against. The Jets are 8-4 as a home favorite, and 8-4 as against. You can see Miami is a very good road dog. Let's go back one more to 2007. Miami is 23-4 as a road dog, 85%. Obviously, you go against them is only 15-12. The Jets are only 14-8 as a home favorite, 16-6 if you go against them. So the Jets don't blow anybody out. And Miami at 23-4 as a road dog. I think I've said enough. This is a game. I wonder how bad the beating they took against New England is going to affect them. I'm sure it's not going to be, your team loses confidence. They're not going to say, oh yeah, we lost 45-3 to New England. Let's go kill Miami. You got to watch these division games. They play each other twice a year. You're not going to surprise them. They know how to play you. They're not afraid of you. I look for a very tight game, 23-20 type of game here. You're getting 11.5, 12 points. It's huge. That's my first strong play. I don't know if I'll probably lock the game. Tremendous. I was going to play Kansas City against San Diego. The trends were Kansas City. However, with Matt Castle having appendicitis, he's not going to play. Kansas City, I just don't know. There's too much of a question mark. I still think KC might cover, but without Matt Castle, I don't want to just play a trend. I'm leaning to take San Diego -1 or even if he's definitely out, which he should be. I hate to start going against the trends, but with the injuries to the key player, Matt Castle, look for Kansas City to run the ball more, and I look for Phillip Rivers. He'll have a big day, but with Castle, this is a dog play also, so we're going to lay away from that. But that's something that you need to watch out for. Got to keep an eye on the injuries, especially to the key player, the quarterback, or a big running back. All right, let's go. I'm going to give you a surprise pick here. New England's 3 over Chicago. Chicago's a home dog. We all know what Chicago does as a home dog. They beat Minnesota as a home dog. They beat Green Bay as a home dog. And now it's time to beat New England as a home dog. Yes, New England won 45-3 on a Monday night last Monday. And I'll get to travel to Chicago. Cold weather, sloppy field. Against Brian Urlacher. Yes, I finally remembered his name. Julius Peppers putting pressure on Brady and those little receivers. Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher will stop these short little routes. They'll play them deep. New England will have to dink and dunk. I don't think New England's defense is really going to stop Chicago's offense. Between Matt Forte, Jay Cutler, Devin Hester running a punt back for a touchdown. I look for a typical Chicago at home, 24-21. Could go either way. We're taking Chicago in the 9 there. Let's look at the trend. Now, there's no trend head-to-head. So all you can really do when you don't have the head-to-head trend like you would get in Chicago, Green Bay, or the Jets in Miami is you try to compare it to a similar situation. You got Tom Brady, means you got a good passing offense. What's similar? Peyton Manning, they didn't play the Colts. But Green Bay, they played similar type of passing quarterback. Chicago won that game at home. Again, the key is that the game's at home. So let's look at the numbers. Chicago 10-2 this year versus the spread, 7-5 against, 3-0 is a home dog. New England road favorite, 2-2 is a road favorite. They're also 10-2 against the number. Their only 2 losses is road favorites. And remember, they lost at Cleveland, a running team with a good defense. Against New England as a road favorite, it's 2-2. There's no big deal there. The key is Chicago being 3-0 as a home dog this year. We go back to last year. Chicago is now 7-0 as a home dog, and they're very good against the number, 22-6 or 79% overall. Chicago covers because people don't think Chicago's that good. Offensive problems, and Brian Urlacher was out last year, and they still went 4-0 as a home dog. So you got Urlacher back, Julius Peppers, a strong defense will always keep you in these games. New England is only 6-3 as a road favorite. They're 23-6, 79% overall. And the same if you go against New England, 6-3. So they're not this, great home favorite or road favorite. Let's go back to 07. We'll get a better flavor. Chicago, 12-0 as a home dog. 47-13 overall in the teaser, 78%. You go against them as a home dog, 6-6. I don't know why you'd go against them. And only 68% if you go against the Bears since 07. New England, 17-6 is a road favorite, much better. That's with the Randy Moss 50 touchdown undefeated season year. And New England 13-10 play against. So you don't really, they're a little better as a road favorite, but New England's a good dog, good home team. So there you go. You got the Bears 12-0. Let's look at the Bears since 05 as a home dog, just to be sure. 14-1 is a home dog, 93%. 75-21, 78% against the number in a teaser. New England 24-8 is a road favorite, 75% to getting better, and 18-14 against them, and that's with all the Super Bowls. So you clearly have a team, Chicago, 12-0 home dogs since 07. Being able to beat Green Bay, they'll get turnovers, they'll get pressure on Brady. New England's got to be a little flat. Their focus was beating the Jets. I play this more in college, but also it works in the pros. When you have a big game, and obviously to New England it was a big game last week against the Jets on Monday Night Football. So they lose a whole 2 days of rest. They lose Sunday night and all Monday that Chicago's resting and not traveling. So then here comes Tuesday, and New England, it's taking them longer to heal. And it's just off of Monday night to go to Chicago. And then Tom Brady's great, best quarterback. I get that. No knock. He'll probably have a very good game, but I think he's going to be pressured. I can see a turnover. I just think Chicago's offense will handle New England's defense well. Devin Hester give them field position, and the Bears play defense. And I just think you're looking at a game in the 20s. You know, and I love the Bears as a home dog getting points at home. All right, we're going to do one more game. Let's look at Atlanta laying 7 to Carolina. Now the obvious is Atlanta is just 10-2, and Carolina's 1-11. Carolina's terrible, third string quarterback. Atlanta, they showed their mettle last week coming back against Tampa. Well, let's look at the numbers. Again, first you got Carolina with injured quarterbacks. You don't know who's quarterbacking. They both are terrible. Matt Moore, kid from Notre Dame. It don't matter. They're not a strong enough team to beat Atlanta anyway. You got a low number here. I mean, Atlanta's a 7-point favorite, 6.5. You land a half or one, just Atlanta win. Atlanta needs the game. They're winning the division by a game over New Orleans. They got to play New Orleans again. I don't look for a letdown here. Let's look at the series. Because they're in the same division, we get that. Atlanta against Carolina. At Carolina, there's not a big trend here. Atlanta, the Carolina's 3-2, the Dogs 3-2. To me, that's not worth looking at. Atlanta's 2-2 is the favorite, and Carolina's 3-1 is the dog again. And the reason is because these teams changed division. That's why you don't have that many games between them. Carolina, Atlanta, in Carolina, everybody's 5-4 since 2000. Atlanta is 7-2 as the favorite since 2000. Carolina's 3-1 as the dog, 6-3 is the dog. So there's not a big trend here as far as team versus team. There's been a lot of injuries. Another reason Matt Ryan comes onto the scene 2 years ago, that could change the trends. So you basically have a very strong Atlanta team playing a very weak Carolina team. Let's look at the trends this year in 10. Atlanta is 10-2 overall. 3-1 is a road favorite. 9-3 if you go against them. So they're not a blowout team, but they do win. And Carolina is 1-3 as a home dog, but only 3-9. Carolina is only 25% with a teaser against the number. So here you're taking 6 points. You're adding 6 points to Carolina's spread, and they're still only 3-9. How bad is that? Bet against Carolina, 10-2 overall, 4-0 as a home dog, 6-0 overall at home. Carolina's played 6 home games. You bet against them every week in the teaser. You win every week. 10-2 overall. Let's go back to 09. Atlanta, 4-2 is a road favorite. They're not a road favorite that much. From 3-3 against, so there's not a big trend there. Atlanta is 21-7 as a overall. If you just played them, that's 75%. Carolina's 3-4 as a home dog. Carolina's 5-2 as a go against home dog, but 7-0 as a go against home favorite, which means 12-2 go against them at home, and they're 22-6 go against them, which is 79%. So they're a pretty good go against team. We can go back to 07, but it's without Matt Ryan, it's not effective. Let's try 08, where Matt Ryan comes aboard. And again, it doesn't show enough that there's huge trends like the other teams we're talking about. Carolina's still 3-4 as a home dog. Where Atlanta's good as a home favorite. They're 15-3 as a home favorite since 08. And they're since 07, they're 17-3. So when you get Atlanta as a home favorite, now I actually went against them last week. I took Baltimore as a dog against Atlanta, and I won with that. Here, this is more of, you don't always have the perfect trends that you do with Miami and the Jets, that you do with the Bears being this wonderful home dog. But sometimes you got to look at it, and the trend might not be there. There's no trend in Atlanta, Carolina, but Atlanta even is a much better team than Carolina. Carolina's got major injuries. You can see Carolina is 0-12 if you go against them, 12-0 going against them at home. They're falling apart. There's no confidence. I do not see Carolina coming up and pulling the upset against Atlanta here. Atlanta's too well balanced. They need the game too badly. They want to win the division. They want to have home field throughout the playoffs. Now you come to the point in December where these teams become, you're looking out